Stacia and Nate. You know, maybe you thought the same thing I did. But Stacia thinks she's single because she's intimidating to men. I don't think that's the reason. I think it's because you buy into this whole boss lady mentality, which I am not a fan of the boss bitch, the boss this. And it's like Tywin Lannister said on Game of Thrones, any man who must say, I am the king, is no true king. If you got to tell other people that you're the boss, you're not the boss. Plain and simple.
100%. So I get where this whole boss lady concept comes from because, years ago, women weren't bosses. I'm in a leadership role, and I don't call it boss. I don't walk around going, I'm a boss bitch. No, I'm in a leadership role.
I should hope not.
And a lead team. But what's the turnoff for Stasia is that mentality.
Yes.
That if you got to be a boss, and you got to tell everybody that I'm a boss bitch and I do this, it's not cute. And so I don't think guys are intimidated. They're just annoyed. It's like, for me, I like a woman that's independent. I like that alpha energy that she brings, but I don't want to hear all that crap. And I don't want you to always be talking like that to people. And so I think she's someone who would be rude to a server at a restaurant. She's that kind of person. So I didn't like that energy from her. Nate, on the other hand, I get he has a past and he was, hustle man slinging purses and all that. But I lost it for him when he said, I lost it for him when he picked the suit. He's like, I got that drip. Any man in their 30s that's using the word drip, I'm done with you. I'm just done with you. And I think that could be an issue with them because even though Stasia likes, I don't know what a reformed thug or whatever that might be, that someone could be a thug, but also have this mindset that can jump into conference rooms and win over people. But if that's what she's normally going for, she wants what?
T.I.
Whatever. But I'm just like, is that because she's older? And so I wonder, is she going to look at him as immature or what? But I was just kind of, who knows? I thought Stacia was cute. I was like, oh my God, she's gorgeous. But then she started talking and I was just like, ugh.
Yeah, the minute they put the boss lady with the dollar signs, I'm like, oh, same thing. It's like, if you got to keep telling me how dope you are, you're not that dope. And that's the thing. You're convincing yourself. And I think that's the problem that a lot of people don't realize. It's like, I get having the confidence in yourself and carrying that mindset. But if you carry that mindset and you really actually have it, people will notice. And of course, you can tell she's just, maybe she meant bossy and they just added the LAD in there. It was supposed to be bossy, not boss lady. And somebody had a typo. That's what it was, right? Because she's like, well, I'll let him decide what restaurant we want to eat. And then maybe I'll give you some more, But I do say this, though. I like that her mama asked about the post-nup agreement, right? Because when she stated she has done this, she's got investment properties. She's got a lot going for herself. And great. You've done that. Now it's time to do the other part. I know a lot of women who make a lot of money and are miserable as shit because they can't get their thing together. And this is the problem I see with her right now is because you've got to be able to learn how to give up that control, but not only give up that control, but not just be overbearing.
Yeah.
On the smallest things. And that's what when I look at her, that's what I see. Somebody who's going to be overbearing and beating down on one little thing when it's not even necessary.
Yeah, and I wonder how they do that, because how do you do a post-nup? I'm just curious how that works. I've not really heard of post-nup, but you got the prenup, I get it. But how do they do that where it's all legal and he can't go after anything of hers if the marriage doesn't work? But the other thing that stood out to me about, was it Nate or her?
Now he's only got one black friend too.
Nate. I'm like, I think it's great that he has female friends. My question is, has he hooked up with any of his female friends? And will that come out? Like, if he's hooked up with any of them, it's great. Guys can have female friends. You can have female friends that you hook up with. But how is Stasia going to feel if one of his close female friends is someone that he used to hook up with? Would that be a problem? I'm curious.
Oh, it would definitely be a problem for her. You can see that because and I could be wrong because this is very early in what we're seeing. She seems like the person who just doesn't deal with a lot of that shit, and that's why she's they're intimidated. No, I think she wrote a lot of people off, and it's not like people aren't throwing themselves at her. It's just that she's like, no, you're beneath me. You're beneath me. I think she carries that style, and certain things that happen, I think that would probably knock it out. Like even when he did at the bachelor party, and he's like, get on your knees, get on your.
That was for her to take a shot. It wasn't for him to rub her head in his crotch.
I know, but still. It's demeaning in the way he was kind of doing it, right? And he did it in a demeaning fashion. And of course, they were doing a dominatrix style thing because they were spanking the guys and all that other crap. So maybe
where they just reversed roles. He became the dom and the stripper became the sub. Yeah. Not that I know anything about any of that. I'm just
of course. Apparently, you do.
I've heard.
You may have just read it in a book, an article, something on Google.
But did you see Stasia's crow's feet? I've always felt like. When you meet women, their life story is in their eyes and face. Mm-hmm. And so you ever meet somebody that they look 50, but they're really 30, but then you talk to them and they've been through so much crap, but it's in their eyes and it's in their face. So I'm looking at her and I see the wrinkles on there. I'm just like, what have you been through? Because you're only in your mid 30s, but I wonder what all she's been through to make her look like that. And not that she looks bad. I'm just saying that I feel like there's some life stuff that's happened to her that has molded her to be this person. And the fact she emancipated herself when she was a kid. Like, the family couldn't just say, hey, you can stay here. You have our permission. For you to emancipate yourself, I feel like there's a reason.
Well, she had a black mama who wasn't good. No, you're not staying with them little friends of yours over there. You coming with me. So she had to emancipate herself in order to be able to stay legally, right? But the other thing is, I think what you're seeing in the crow's feet is the other side of the family that she does not know. The lighter side of the family. That's probably just seeping through in the crow's feet. That's all. We age differently. Black don't crack. So that ain't from her mama's side. Her mama ain't got no damn crow's feet. All right. Let's just.